Welcome to the after show, Not So Christian Brothers.
Yeah.
I am Bex. I'm here on the couch with Colm and Justin to talk about this week's show, which I really enjoyed.
Colm Hayes and Justin
Colm Hayes and Justin Caffrey, of course.
I love the fact that we have different names.
I love it too.
Just adds to the intrigue.
It does, yeah.
Yeah,
Really, yeah. The mystique. You need to like, you need to subscribe, you need to get involved. Get onto our Instagram page where all the social clips are, Not So Christian Brothers, where you're probably seeing this clip. Family. We talked a lot about you guys being brothers, family ties. God, it was a good one. The old snowman. Huh? Really? Did that really happen?
It really did
I
happen.
can't
So
imagine.
so for people who are only jumping in on Sundays, what was the Snowman Story?
Same parents, different timelines, and united by chaos. Strap on, strap in, for the not-so-Christian brothers.
It was 1982. I was 7. I had bronchitis. It was the worst snow in Europe in 1982. And I had bronchitis. And so did our mother at the time. So we were both ill, and I couldn't go outside and play with all the rest of the kids who were out in this incredible snow. And in our back garden, you came down and you built a snowman in the back garden. And I sat in the back bedroom and watched you make a snowman.
Like, that kills me that you have that in you.
How big was the snowman? No, I'm just wondering, was it like a good snowman?
It was a good snowman.
You don't
yeah.
remember
Like, it
doing
was-
that for him?
I have to say, I don't remember doing it. I mean, there's a lot of things I don't remember doing, and that doesn't make me.
But do you
less
think
than
that that's
less-
something you would have done?
Yeah, it is actually. Yeah.
Do you feel guilt?
I actually don't think it is something that you would have done. So that's why I think I hold it as the memory.
That's why it's your go-to story.
Because it's so,
Yeah, it's so not me.
demonstrably different to how he's behaved for the rest of his life.
I know I'm an immeasurable pain in the ass, but I do. I sometimes I do step up to the mark.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
often, once.
Do you
That was
So
that
once,
time.
and I'll tell you the one time I
1982.
stepped up to the mark. It was 1982, the worst snow in Europe,
Who's going to give us a story?
and I convinced my brother I built him a snowman.
AI.
He was just watching the neighbours from the window.
Do you feel guilty?
About what?
I thought it was very interesting, and I have a little bit of synchronicity with this one where Justin was like, why were you cross? Why were you fighting in your 20s? Why were you pissy? Why was it at me when you could have been pissed with your shit childhood at your parents? But he had it with. Do you feel guilty for kind of effectively leaving Justin in this house? That was
No.
not ideal. I know you liked it, but he did not have a good vibe there, and the things were getting worse with his dad and as well. And you were off having your life and obviously living your life. But do you feel guilty ever?
No, I left when I was about 18, and I'm 18 or 19, and I just felt. I mean, Justin has spoken about it, I've spoken about it. Santry was Santry, but in our days, it was a tough place, It wasn't the most attractive place, suburban Dublin. And there was tough stuff going on, I was in college, just come out of college in Rathmines. I was working in a radio station on the south side, and it just felt right. I had a bit of money in my pocket, and it felt right to just kickstart my life and to move on. So if I stayed... Justin at some stage was going to reach my age, which he did, of like 18 or 19, and he buggered off. So it would have
That's
been...
not what I asked you.
No, it would have been... No, it would have been irresponsible towards me to have stayed there for him, because
you
I
feel
knew
bad for
he
him?
wouldn't do it for me.
But did you feel bad that he was kind of left with it?
I'll be very honest, no.
No. Okay.
No.
Did you feel that
But
then
I
in your
never-
20s?
It's only sometimes now. Sorry, this. He does tell me now how we'd go over for Sunday dinner. All
And
the
this is
brothers
me
and
telling him something in his mind rather than me saying it
no,
here.
no,
yeah, like you're
continue.
angry, remember?
No, you did do. You did. You said it, and we'd all be over. And Sunday would be brilliant, and we'd be playing cards, and there'd be 15 people in the house, kids and everything, and then we'd all leave. And see, we'd leave, so we didn't know what we were leaving behind, and you would say what we left was emptiness. Because mum and dad would probably go up to bed for the next 5 days. You would have no siblings around. But we left and off we went, So I never saw that over my shoulder. So that I do regret. Yeah.
But I think that's the reality of life,
Yeah.
right? We're all inside our own little bubble, right? Which is our mind, our consciousness, or whatever. And we're all spinning around the world, looking outward, seeing how other people are behaving in our theater show of our life. So then we have this idea that, you should have noticed that I was not happy. But of course, everybody's just trying to pay their bills, move on, etc. And I think for me, as a kid in his 20s then and early 20s, I was just trying to figure out who's to blame. And in the end, you know what? Nobody's to blame.
Howard Jones, no one is to blame. 1984, great song.
It wasn't out in 1982.
You wouldn't have got the Snowman.
But at some point, everybody has to put their big boy and big girl pants on.
Yeah.
And accept responsibility. And I left when I was 18, and I think, let's be fair, it wasn't a great place to be, and I just wanted to get out. So I don't hold any animosity towards you in terms of what you did or how you lived your life, or my other siblings for that matter. Everybody has to just figure their own shit out eventually.
Yes, but you were 7. Like, this is not 18, 19, 20. Put your big boy pants on and go out and get a job. You were 7, 8, 9. I'm a massive empath, which is both a strength and a weakness, because I know that if I was the youngest kid of my house. If I was the eldest kid, and maybe I wouldn't have been a massive empath if I was the eldest kid, right? Maybe it's how you were talking earlier about where you come.
Yeah.
I would have really struggled to leave knowing maybe it was a bit toxic, not such a vibe, a lot of depression, a lot of weirdness in their relationship, loneliness, which is one of the biggest. Like, that is just, it's loneliness. It's sometimes nearly fighting and drama is nicer than the deep, dark, quiet silence.
But
I
he
think I
wasn't
would have
locked in a room,
struggled.
like,
No, but I would
Dad
have
wasn't
struggled
Fritzl.
leaving knowing that he was left with that. And likewise, when I was quite lonely as a kid and no one cared. Well, you don't know. You don't know. But also,
Funny enough.
do you know what I find
That basement.
Do you know what I find fascinating? Justin said, I really cared about impressing siblings. Most people care about impressing their parents, correct? Like, most people, I'm sure you speak about in your work, are like, why did mom not think I was great? And you were saying you wanted to impress your dad about who was like, unless you're some Bond writer. So we're all looking to impress someone, but you wanted to impress your siblings. Why? Were you just indifferent to your folks?
Completely.
Ah!
And I think
hard to hear.
what's interesting is that anybody who's listening to this who thinks that they don't have a parent that they're trying to impress, if you really get into it deep enough, you'll find that you do. So even if you had a parent who was an asshole, you're probably still trying to prove them wrong today. And actually, your parents can be dead and all that can pass. So it almost becomes like the record that keeps playing in your head. What's a modern version of record for anybody who's listening to this? The record, the loop that keeps playing in your head, right?
Yeah.
And you don't actually have any conscious awareness of it. It just becomes the behavior that you follow. Like, as I said in the last episode of Jurgen Klopp talking about this is his father. So yeah, I had complete indifference to my parents. I mean, it was listless. I was like, I just looked at them and thought, what?
So was Colm the parent you were trying to impress?
I think Colm was really important to me as a child because I needed to find, like, Santry was rough, and I was not, I was dyslexic as a kid. You were smarter. I used to get handed his reports by our mother, and she'd go, "Now look at him, and look at you."
Yeah.
So what does it say? Comparison is the thief of happiness, right?
Yeah.
So,
I was some thief.
So he was stealing everything except when he came out with Snowman. But I think for me, he forged a path out of a kind of just a very benign existence that was really all that was available in that period of time in Ireland in the 80s, right? And we were beside Ballymun. There was chronic heroin addiction. Most of my friends' parents had no jobs. It was a dump, right? I don't mean Santry was a dump. I mean Ireland was a dump in the 80s.
We were affected by Ballymun behind us, and that was I mean, the parents that I knew that were just the relationship, the marriage was nothing. I mean, I know some guys now. Well, not so much now, but maybe 20 years ago, and I would go back to the Swiss College for a beer. It was our local boozer in the north side.
It's fancy.
And there was guys in their 40s still living at home with their parents, you know what I mean? They just never got out of that cycle. They probably were alcoholics or drugs, as you said, were huge there. And I couldn't ever see me staying there.
But that's why I think
without Colm Hayes, you wouldn't be this successful.
No, I think he would have been.
Well, no, I do think that
Miriam, our older sister, went to London.
But I do think as a that's an interesting point to talk about. But I do think as a sibling, you forged a path to help me go, oh, okay. You know, you always had money in your pocket. You always had a nice car. And I thought, that's what I want. Money in my pocket, nice car.
You had
Stolen.
something to aspire to.
Yeah, something to aspire to.
Why do you think blood is thicker than? Do you both actually believe blood is thicker than water? Do you actually believe that? Because some families are really estranged and toxic.
I never
and
believed
shit.
that until I would say, in terms of my own siblings, my two sisters and my brother. I think for the last 10 years, I see that, and I think whatever they would need from me, I know I do.
But before that, would have been Beatrice, like it would have been your own life.
Yeah, I think I didn't live here. I think really for me when I came back to Ireland, it became clearer in my mind that that's how I think things should be. But actually, to go on to our sister who went to, you know, and this kind of signifies the reality of what was going on in that house. Our sister went to live in London when she was 16.
Yeah, to work in a bar.
And she left, and I really hope my parents never hear this podcast, but
Well, Dad won't.
that's true. Well, maybe he will.
Who knows?
Maybe he's here now.
Who knows? Yeah.
But
Daddy.
my parents,
Daddy?
Spotify have just done a license with Heaven. Wouldn't surprise.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
my sister, who I'm very similar in lots of ways because we're both Pisces. We have very similar personalities in many ways, right? But what's interesting is when she went to London, it was big controversy. My parents got really, really pissed off.
Yeah.
So after a few months, she decided to make peace with them, and she wrote them a letter. She's working at a bar at 16.
That's
Just
quite
think about
incredible.
this, right?
That's quite incredible.
Living above the bar.
In the 1960s, right?
In London, yeah.
Swinging 60s.
That's
She
16.
leaves. She writes a letter home to say, okay, I know you guys are probably worried about me, so I just want to let you know what's going on. Da, 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 da. Sends them the letter. A couple of weeks later, gets the letter back in the post, recognizes her parents' signature, opens the letter, and all that's inside is her letter corrected in red pen to show the spelling mistakes and grammatical errors.
What
Yeah.
type of parents did you have?
They were actually okay,
were
but I tell you
but
what.
Were they,
Anybody who wants to go back and listen
Were
to
they
like
teachers?
episode 1.
were they teachers? Were they?
No, they weren't teachers, but
and
my
they weren't
dad.
Brominical or anything?
No, my dad was big into grammar.
So what the fuck is happening
And
here? Let's
spelling.
close this out. Sorry.
He was Uncle Spell Check.
Okay, sorry. For next week, we are talking about this letter and the fact that if I did that now, if I told you like Gia wrote this letter and she's living her best life in New York, but I'm obviously got this letter and that's heartbreaking for us as a family. And
Say,
wrote
the she's
back
living her
and-
best life in New York, and she's 8.
See that for
She's
Gia.
one hell of an impressive child.
My sister was impressive at 16, but she is on it.
Blew us all out of the water.
Okay, I want to talk about this letter again because it's literally the biggest thing. Like, subscribe, get involved in Not So Christian Brothers. This has been Justin Colm and myself, Bex. Wow, that's a clagger.